printIQ have been a really proactive partner, and I think particularly when I reflect upon last year, when we had a lot of turbulence in input costs and a real need to control and know what we were charging, where our margin was coming from, I think we would have been lost without printIQ had we not made that investment to move to them 3 years ago. We have to take responsibility for the success of our business and looking after our customers. But I do want to know that I can trust and rely on the suppliers to the business. I've made a real effort to be positive about this year, to invest, and looking at ways to grow and move forward. I feel that there's still a real place for us to be one of the dominant suppliers in the UK, doing general commercial print for trade partners. And if we do it really well, and we make it great value, and we're great to deal with, I think we've got an exciting future.
Why do I think we selected printIQ? We felt very confident as an organisation that it was absolutely the right platform for us for the investment term that we were looking at. I think a lot of people overlook the relationship you have with the vendor. I think people look at the bells and whistles that a new package, a piece of software will provide, and they neglect the fact that there are human beings behind that making it run. One of the things I've really liked about it is they're very accessible all the way up to the top. And if you have an issue, which is inevitable, all software platforms have issues, all integrations have issues, that we've just always been able to get hold of people and have a conversation with them and speak to each other like peers rather than, you're just a print company, you don't know we're printIQ. There's never been any of that sort of relationship, and I think that's a grossly overlooked element when you're looking at an investment. So I would, I think from my own personal opinion, I would certainly recommend printIQ from a relationship perspective. I think that when you're looking at investment in technology as a print firm, it's really easy to think of software as something different than the press, and actually you should think of them fairly similarly. And I think if you enter into software thinking that's MIS bought, we'll never have to do anything again, and we've solved that problem, I don't think that's the right attitude towards it. I think you should always be having a plan for how long that investment should last. I think when we look at printIQ and we look at the functionality that it offers and some of the things that we're not even using, there's a lot available in printIQ, and we may only be using 40% of it to achieve what we need to achieve as a business. The good news is we know that other 60% is there, and in terms of scalability, printIQ has a very large catalogue of RESTful APIs, which basically means that that safeguards us, because you can always break out into a bespoke customized piece of software or an off-the-shelf package that can perform that function and then pass back into printIQ to continue the onward journey.
After some careful research of the market, we felt that printIQ was the best partner in a number of regards. But what we wanted to achieve was more control over our margin and our estimating to create better accuracy and consistency. And we then wanted to make sure that there was a real connection to then automate some of the workflows into production and make decision making in production more consistent.
printIQ is a very clever platform. We're very lucky to be working with this software. Again, it's helping the customer take that easy journey right from estimating with their own customer right the way through to quoting and the delivery through production, delivery out to their customer.
On day one, when printIQ went live, we didn't skip a beat. We had moved the factory across from traditional job bags, which had a lot of information on them, to pallet labels with a QR code that had very little information on them, job numbers, customer names. That was pretty much about it. So it's really vital that your sales team is directly joined to your production team, and that's what printIQ gave us day one. So I think what we really got right was we got the essence of Bishops in printIQ, and printIQ was flexible enough that it enabled all of the complexities of Bishops to actually be represented in the software, which in itself is phenomenal.
printIQ is truly cloud-based, so wherever you are in the globe, you can actually log in to printIQ via the web browser. You can know exactly what your business is doing. If you're the salesperson, you've just come out of a meeting, one of the best things to do is to turn that quotation around as quickly as possible. With IQ, you can do that. I think you can't be any more complimentary of the software than the ease of use. It is so simple from start to finish. We will carry you through that journey of the build and carry you through the journey of learning that software that will really help you as a business and understand where your business is making money and where it isn't making money, so you can understand that fully from our reporting functions as well.
I think we were looking for more than just a quoting tool. We were looking for something that was going to give us benefit in production, was going to give us a full end-to-end visibility of jobs. I think one of the real important areas for running Bishops printers is effectively being able to dissect a job and look at your costs versus your revenue, so you can work your profits out at a very granular level. We were looking for tools to give us that flexibility, and it really paid off. You can pinpoint the individual line item, cost line item, and just tweak exactly what you need to tweak. It was absolutely invaluable. Our pre-press team is considerably smaller these days than it used to be through printIQ and automation with Switch. So because effectively when the jobs come through to our pre-press team, we have all the attributes about the job, the artwork is in printIQ and associated to the job, and printIQ sends that to our Switch server. We're then able to automatically impose that through either our Heidelberg system or the HP software for the Indigos, and we're able to effectively get that ready to press, so either via plate or digital means with zero touch. It's really improved things over there. Still got the same amount of people. What we've done is we've put people in more valuable roles, so rather than them spending their day checking artwork files, which is particularly boring and unsatisfying, they're now dealing with edge cases. They're dealing with things that actually require their skill set and for them to be involved in it, which means that we've been able to actually make things better for our employees and better for Bishops, because we can do a lot more, put a lot more throughput through that team.
I personally couldn't imagine running a business without the access to data. I think it's really important to know what's going on in the business and to be making decisions that have a positive effect and create a margin and a way to sustain your business. So I really like seeing what's going on, but I also think that it's not just about the data. So for instance, I want staff to take ownership of what they're doing. I expect an estimator to think about what they're seeing and to be capable of making a commercial judgment. Data on its own isn't the answer all the time, but it's just the most fantastic guide. I'm really passionate about doing good work for customers, about being respected as a supplier to them, and I'll always take a phone call from a customer. I don't care who they are, how much they spend, everyone's important. Around the turn of the year, I sort of reflected on the fact that we've always had a positive approach to growing the business, and I want us to be an interesting place to work for the staff, and I believe that print remains part of the marketing mix for at least another generation, and why can't we be one of the ones around to supply that?